Anyway, despite those differences, which are by no stretch of the imagination enormous, we've made this work. Through murders, deaths, afterlife, angry warlocks, ghosts, reincarnation, sickness, we've made it through the rain, and now we have an amazing relationship full of respect, love, and above all, honesty. Or I thought we did. Now let me preface this by saying I might be jumping the gun. I might be losing my mind, too. Certainly, it isn't impossible. But I submit to you the occurrences of the past week, and then I'll let you decide if I'm being ridiculous, or if I have a valid case for believing Wynn's investigating a crime behind my back, or, at the very least, involved in something with someone from his past. Anyway, that's when it all began. About a week ago, when I heard Wynn talking on his cell. That he was talking on his cell isn't at all suspicious. I'm not typically the jealous type. Okay, there was that one time earlier this year when he was checking off the winning category for wrestling information out of suspects, where I had a niggle of envy, but you know what I mean. Not even a little. I'd trust Wynn with my life, and in fact, have trusted him with my life. But, I'm officially having an attack of the uneasies, if that's even a word, or maybe a better word for it is an attack of I don't know what the heck is going on, but my inner antennae says something's amuck. As I said, it started with a phone call Wynn took about a week ago. I remember it distinctly because the name Marsden had stuck with me when Wynn mentioned it many moons ago. Well, it felt like many moons ago anyway. It was probably only a couple of years, but in all the tales Wynn's told me about his spy adventures, I've lost track. Either way, it's an unusual name and one I've often attributed to the actor James Marsden from Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Regardless, I know he once mentioned the name Marsden, and I'm certain he said he was a handler at MI6. So, I ask you, why would Wynn be on the phone at the other end of the house, behind some hydrangea bushes of all places, talking in hushed tones to a Marsden when he's supposed to be out of the spy game due to his untimely death? How many Marsdens can a person know? Now that, in and of itself, didn't make me overly suspicious. Not at first, anyway. I don't know any people named Marsden, but in Wynn's favor, I don't know many people named Arkady Bagrov either. Yet I now have a ghost with that very unusual name in my life. I mean, there's likely more than one Marsden on planet Earth, right? My point is, the name has come up rather out of the blue. Though, that wasn't what bothered me as much as the fact that when Wynn realized I was in close proximity, pretending to check on the condition of our hydrangeas, which, if you've all paid even a little attention, you know I don't know the first thing about the flowers, he cut the call short. As in, my man of mystery clicked that phone off as though it were on fire, stuffed it in his pocket, and slapped one of his charming I-would-do-anything-for-you smiles on his devastatingly handsome face, dropped a kiss on my forehead, and went about his day. I didn't say anything, and of course neither did he. But I'm telling you, something is amiss. Something. There have been a couple more instances where I've questioned whether it's just me being me and the need for a good mystery to solve, we haven't had one since the late winter, or if Wynn is really up to something. Nothing major, mind you. He's just been on his phone in covert corners of the house, as though he doesn't want me to hear who he's talking with, and he's been doing an awful lot of errands as of late. Anyway, that brings me to today, where I've been mulling over the phone call from last week, most especially trying to remember the name Marsden and who it was linked to, and pondering if I'm making a mountain out of a molehill and if I should simply ask Wynn who he'd been talking to. But then he'd know I was eavesdropping, and I'd feel stupid because there was likely a really good explanation, right? I wondered that as I sat out on our back patio with whiskey, strike, and belfry in my pajamas, and enjoyed a cup of my sad brown water as I watched the water roll by and the colorful sails of the boats flap in the wind on this late summer day. The breeze was beautiful for late August. Not too warm, not